In my previous market updates, I would cover the changes in the Durham region real estate market, and sometimes I would talk about individual areas if there were significant changes that happened, but the overall focus was on Durham region as a whole. And I'm still doing that. My usual market update video is already uploaded on this channel, and you can go back and watch that one after if you'd like. I'll link it in the description. But in this video, I'm going to focus more on Oshawa and Clarington because I know some people might live in these areas or are thinking about moving to them and would like information that is specific to those areas. So in this video, I'm going to break down the state of the real estate market in Oshawa and Clarington, and I'll talk about what I've noticed in these areas from my experience helping my buyers buy and sell there. I'll also have a video coming out just after this one that will break down the Whitby, Ajax, and Pickering numbers, so if you're interested in those areas, be sure to check out that video as well. My name is Jessie McLellan, and I'm a realtor here in Oshawa, Ontario with the Lisa Abbott team. If you want to stay up to date on everything happening in the Durham region real estate market and you find this video informative, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to have a one-on-one chat to get your questions answered about the real estate market, you can click the link in the description to book a call with me at whatever time works best for you. We'll start off with Oshawa. Month over month from September to October, the average sale price increased from $756,000 to $804,000. I mentioned in my last market update that we might see that happen in October simply because we had such a high percentage of sales under $600,000 in September, but at that time in October, we hadn't seen that happen yet. Towards the end of October, it did even out a little bit, but we still did end the month with a higher average sale price. But like the rest of Durham region, when we dive into some of the other numbers, we can see that the market is still trending in the favor of buyers. Oshawa's months of inventory jumped from 2.3 up to 3.2. New listings increased a very small amount from 448 to 462, and the number of sales decreased from 186 in September to 143 in October. That left us with 458 active listings in Oshawa at the end of October, which is an increase from the 420 at the end of the month prior. While active inventory increased, we also saw a large increase to the average days on market, with homes now taking an average of 19 days to sell in Oshawa during the month of October, up from 15 days in September. The sale price to list price ratio dropped from 103% to 101% as we start to see a lot less homes pricing low and holding offers, and a lot more sales happening right around list price. The sales to new listing ratio also dropped considerably from 41.5% to just 31%, which would also be considered a buyer's market if we just looked at that stat. Although the average price increased in Oshawa and many other areas in Durham region, it didn't feel like it did as someone who was working with buyers in this area throughout October. There were a lot of properties that I had viewed with clients or that I was following for a client that were adamant of getting what their neighbor had sold for in the couple of weeks prior to them hitting the market. They were mostly detached homes in the $700,000 to $800,000 price range, and they all ended up selling significantly less than their neighbor or their expectations. I think this tells us two things. One is that buyers are being a lot more discerning and picky with properties. With active inventory increasing month over month, there's a lot of homes that aren't selling and a lot of sellers that are having a harder time getting showings or offers to come in. So if a buyer encounters a seller and or their listing agent who is maybe a little bit unreasonable with their price expectations, they will simply choose to find someone who is willing to be reasonable on their pricing and look at one of the many options available to them. The second thing it tells us is that the small differences between homes are being exploited a lot more right now. In previous markets, a home could be listed after a neighbor sells, and as long as the home was pretty similar, it would usually also sell for a very close price because buyers lacked options and were a little bit more desperate. But right now, the small differences between two homes could be the reason that one of them can't sell or sells for $50,000 less than the other. So that's a way buyers can find good opportunities right now. And also a note for sellers that what might seem small to you could be a big deal for a buyer right now. So preparation before selling is key, and being informed on the current market conditions is also very important as well. And moving on to what's happening in Clarington. The numbers for Clarington this month are kind of giving us mixed messages. The average sale price increased over 7%, bringing us up to $914,000. The number of new listings actually decreased from 310 to 280, and the number of sales also dropped from 119 to 101. However, active listings increased month over month, and we ended October with 277 active listings in Clarington, and our months of inventory increased again from 2 to 2.7. The average days on market actually decreased from 18 days down to 15 days, and the sales to new listing ratio dropped from 38.4 to 36.1%. So our months of inventory is telling us it's a seller's market, and our sales to new listing ratio is suggesting it's a buyer's market. So which is it? It feels like a pretty balanced market in Clarington to me, pretty similar to Oshawa and other parts of Durham region. I think a lot of these numbers being a little all over the place is partially due to the fact that sales are really low right now, so we don't have a large sample size to go off of, and the numbers can be skewed a lot more easily with really high or really low priced sales. I spent a lot of time showing homes and working in Clarington in October, and it definitely doesn't feel like a seller's market. There are a lot of freehold townhomes around and just under $700,000 that are struggling to sell, and quite a few detached homes around the $750,000 price point that are also having difficulty getting offers to come in. It wasn't that long ago that these homes were selling a lot higher, and they were selling very fast in lots of competition. This is in both Curtis and Bowmanville and in very nice neighborhoods. It's a little surprising to me that they aren't selling, but as I mentioned before, buyers are being a lot pickier right now because they have more options. So if the pricing strategy isn't making sense to them, or if the photos or layout of the home doesn't show its best online, it can be very challenging to get people through the door and to bring an offer because they will always want the absolute best deal and be most attracted to homes that are the nicest and show like a 10 out of 10. I've also seen quite a few townhomes in and around Richfield Square in Curtis that have come up for sale recently, and part of that is likely because there are some townhomes that were recently built on the corner of Richfield and Nash, and now there are talks of a 95-unit condo building being built on the corner of Charles and Nash, and I think some residents that were on the fence about moving have decided now is the time before construction becomes an issue again. So always good to be cognizant of any planned or proposed construction and how it might be affecting home values. And with more townhome options coming up, it's presenting some really great opportunities for buyers to get into a freehold townhome in a nice part of Curtis for a much more affordable price. If you have any questions about our market or think I might be a good fit for you to help you buy or sell your home in Durham region, you can book a call with me using the link in the description. If you'd like to see the full Durham region market update or breakdown of Whitby, Ajax, and Pickering, be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you found this information valuable, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!